Hi, welcome to Hot Yoga. My name is Molly and I'll be walking you through an hour-long hot yoga session today. So we start every hot yoga session in a short meditation, so I invite you to come to a nice comfortable seat of your choice. And I'm in my home today. You might see some of my fur babies joining us briefly to make an appearance. Today, to set yourself up for success, go ahead and grab a towel, a water bottle, a block. Since this is an at-home practice, you could even bring some pillows or some blankets with you to your mat today. But I'd like to, at this time, invite you to come to a nice, comfortable position of your choice. Pause the video, grab yourself your pillow or your blanket. And when you're ready, commit to your hand placement. Whether it's palms face up, or palms face down on your knees. Close down your eyes. Begin to notice your breath. Take an inhale. And exhale, let it go. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. One more just like that. Inhale through your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Allow your body to settle in. Notice your body as you allow yourself to find stillness. Lean into this experience and give it your full attention. Ask yourself, what is stillness? Let your body experience the answer. As your body responds, notice the stillness gather. And settle. Allow that stillness to ripple all throughout your body. Find yourself in a state of deep relaxation. Begin at your head. That ripple down your head, past your cheeks, to your shoulders, down your arms, past your chest, to your waist, down your elbows, to your forearms, to your hands, fingertips, your hips, your thighs, your knees, and finally your toes. Find places to soften and to ground. Exhale, open your eyes. Inhale. Exhale, ragdoll pose at the top of your mat. Bring your legs out wide. Allow your chest to drape over your thighs. And I know I might struggle with this posture the most today as I'm focusing on stillness. I'm used to finding movement in this posture. So if you're used to finding movement, I invite you to find stillness. If you normally find stillness, I invite you to find movement. Now, hot yoga is a great format to use to practice stillness as we hold all 34 postures in a set sequence for 3 to 5 breaths. Ideally, it would be 99 degrees in this room. There are no chaturangas and no downward dogs, so it's easier on the wrists. If you found movement, find stillness. If you were still, go ahead and find movement. Inhale. Exhale, heel toe your feet together about hip width distance apart. Inhale, Samastitihi, standing at attention with hands at heart center. And I invite you to set your intention at this time. Today, I invite you to set the intention of finding stillness. Still your mind and your body. Inhale to seal your intention. Exhale, mountain pose with steeple mudra. Breathe. Ground down through all 4 corners of your feet. Squeeze your belly button in to meet your spine and bring your biceps by your ears. Inhale. Exhale, standing half moon pose to the right. Breathe. Find length through both side bodies. Stack your shoulders over your hips. And press your left hip forward in space. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, standing half moon pose to the left. Breathe. Ground down through your right heel. Press your left hip forward in space. And find length through both side bodies. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Release steeple mudra. Find your hands at your low back in a bind. Bring your palms together to touch. Bring your feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, baby back bend with a bind. Breathe. Send your hips forward in space and squeeze through your glutes as you send your shoulder blades down and together, pinching down your back. Now this is early on in class, so don't force your body into positions it's not ready for, especially if it's not 99 degrees where you're practicing. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Keep your bind behind your back. Exhale, forward fold with a bind. Breathe. When you get there, release your hands slowly, bring them to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold with a big toe lock, bringing your wrist creases in toward one another. Capture your big toe and bend and flare out through your elbows to the sides of your space. Slowly straighten through your legs. Allow your head to fall down toward the earth. Press your big toe into your hands and your hands into your big toe, and slowly begin to shift the weight of your body from your heels to the balls of your feet. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose with steeple mudra once again. Inhale. Exhale, standing half moon pose to the right. Breathe. This is your second time here. So bring your left bicep back in space to square over your hips. Squeeze your belly button in to meet your spine. You might even gaze up at your top hand. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, standing half moon pose to the left. Breathe. Find length through both side bodies. Careful that you're not dumping all your weight into your left side. Press your right hip forward in space to square your hips over your shoulders. Bring your biceps by your ears, your shoulder blades down your back. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Keep steeple mudra. Inhale. Exhale, baby back bend with steeple mudra. Breathe. Press your hips forward in space and squeeze through your glutes. Send your shoulder blades down and back. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Keep steeple mudra. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold with steeple mudra. Breathe. Keep your biceps behind your ears as you slowly draw a line down your space until your wrists nearly meet the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, gorilla pose. Breathe. Track your hands down your calves and cup the backs of your heels with your pinkies facing in toward one another. Bend your knees as much as you need and bring your forearms behind your calves as you slowly create a small package. Slowly straighten through your legs. Bring the weight of your body to the balls of your feet. Bend your knees as much as you need. Gaze straight back in your space. Inhale. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, malasana. Breathe. Bring your heels in, toes out, hands at heart center as you sit your sits bones down in space. Now when you get there, press your elbows into your thighs and your thighs into your elbows. Bring your sternum toward your thumbs. Now careful that you're not dumping all your weight down into your sits bones. Actively engage by squeezing your thighs in toward one another. Now lift your toes off of the earth. Come back to your breath. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Send your sits bones up toward the sky. Heel toe your feet hip width distance apart. Inhale, samastitihi, standing at attention. Bring your hands out parallel from your shoulders, out in front of you. Inhale. Exhale, half chair pose. Breathe. Bring your knees behind your toes as you sit your sits bones lower in space. Sink your hips down, tuck your tailbone under, and bring your shoulder blades back into their sockets. Hold here. You've got it. Inhale. Exhale, slowly rise up. Inhale, rise onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, lifted chair pose. Breathe. Stack your shoulders on top of your hips. Send your sits bones down toward the earth. Squeeze your inner thighs in toward one another. Could even come to a toe stand here. Exhale. Inhale, slowly rise up. Inhale, pigeon toe your feet. Your toes face in, heels face out. Option to rise onto and lift your heels from the earth. Inhale, bring your hands out in front of you. Exhale, awkward chair pose. Breathe. Stack your shoulders over your hips and send your hips down in space. Now I like to rise up onto my heels here. You can do the same. Exhale. Inhale, slowly rise up. Samasthiti. Nice job. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands at your sides. Inhale, Garudasana on your right standing leg. Breathe. Reach your left leg high and tight over your right, and your left arm under your right as you sit your hips down in space. Square your hips toward the front of your space. Bring your elbows parallel to your shoulders and tuck your tailbone under. Exhale. Inhale, eagle bound airplane. Breathe. Slowly unravel your left leg as you send it back into your space. Keep eagle arms. Dial your back toes down. Find a slight up dog in the top half of your body. Now, if I was in your living room with you or at your home with you, I might come up to behind you and press your left hip down in space. Exhale. Inhale, balancing stick pose. Breathe. Unravel eagle arms and send them out in front of you to find steeple mudra. Bring your biceps by your ears. Dial your back toes down. Gaze straight down. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Samasthiti. Inhale, Garudasana on your left standing leg this time. Breathe. Ground down through your left leg. Swing your right leg high and tight over your left and your right arm under your left. Press your left hip forward in space to square your hips and sink down. Squeeze your inner thighs together to create stability. Parallel your elbows with your shoulders. Now press your fingertips forward, your palms forward in your space. Nice control. Inhale. Exhale, eagle bound airplane. Breathe. Slowly unravel your right leg in space and hinge forward in your hips as you send your right leg back. Dial your back toes down. Press your right hip down in space. Find a slight up dog in the top half of your body. Stillness is not always comfortable. We get stir crazy and need a change of scenery. But can you sit with that uncomfortable feeling for this next moment? And now this moment. Can you release some tension and find some ease? Exhale. Inhale, balancing stick. Breathe. Unravel eagle arms and send your arms out in front of you to find steeple mudra. Press your biceps in toward your ears. Hinge slightly forward. Now rise and lift your hamstring up just a little higher. Inhale. Exhale, release. Samasthiti. Nice job, yogis. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Raise your left leg high. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Inhale. Exhale, standing head to knee pose. Breathe. Capture your heel, and you can stay right here. You can also use a strap right here. Stay strong in your foundation. Or on an exhale, begin to send your left heel forward in space, bringing your head down to your knee, round through your back, and flare your elbows to the side wall. Inhale. Exhale, standing figure 4. Breathe. Float your left leg to sit on top of your right thigh. Send your hips down in space and press your hands at heart center. My cat is making an appearance right now. That's ace. Nice control, yogis. Exhale. Inhale, one-legged mountain. Exhale, dancer's pose on your right standing leg. Breathe. Capture the instep of your left leg by backstroking it back to capture. Inhale, reach your right arm high. Exhale, kick into your back foot. You can express your dancer here. Inhale. Exhale, release. Samasthiti. Inhale, press into your left foot this time. One-legged mountain. Raise your right leg high. Exhale, standing head to knee pose. Breathe. Capture posture and cup the bottom of your heel. Press away from the earth in your standing leg. And on an exhale, begin to send your right foot forward in space as you bring your head to your knees, round through your back. Flare your elbows to the side walls of your space. In life before this pandemic, I was constantly on the move, barely giving myself time to eat or enjoy a meal. But now I've been given this unique opportunity to find a sense of stillness in my life. It's forced me to make choices of what truly matters to me. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, standing figure 4 pose. Breathe. Float your right ankle on top of your left thigh. Sink your hips down in space and bring your hands at heart center. Flex your toes back toward your your right calf. Press your hands in toward one another to find stability. Exhale. Inhale, slowly rise up, one-legged mountain. Exhale, dancer's pose on your left standing leg this time. Breathe. Backstroke your right hand back to capture the instep of your right foot. Inhale, reach your left arm high, rather. Exhale, kick into your back foot. Breathe. You can choose to express your dancer here. Square your hips toward the front of your space. Send your right hip down in space. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, release. Samasthiti. Nice job, yogis. Go ahead and take a quarter turn toward your left. Inhale, find mountain pose. Exhale, prayer twist to the right. Breathe. Sink your hips down in space. And then send your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh. Careful that your left knee isn't creeping forward. Square your knees. You have an option here to look up or look down or open your arms to the sides. Inhale to find length. Exhale to twist deeper into this posture. Exhale. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, prayer twist to the left this time. Breathe. Tuck your tailbone under. Send your right elbow to the outside of your left thigh this time. Press your left hip forward in space to square your hips and level your knees. Press your palms in toward one another to bring them to heart center. On every inhale, find length. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale, star pose. Get big. Parallel your front and back feet with the front and back edges of your mat. Exhale. Inhale, find a bind, look up. Exhale, forward fold with a bind. Breathe. Hinge forward in your hips and send your palms forward in space. Squeeze through your inner thighs. Allow your head to grow heavy. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down beneath your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands at your hips. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, warrior two toward the front of your space, front of your mat. Breathe. Stack your shoulders over your hips. Square your hips to the side of your space. Stack your front knee over your front ankle. Exhale. Inhale, reverse warrior. Breathe. Send your left hip under your right. Recommit to your lunge. And send your right hand back in space into its socket. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, extended side angle. Breathe. Press your right bicep into your right thigh to spiral your heart toward the sky. Now bring your shoulder blades down your back. Now press into your back leg, engage. Exhale. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, look over your right shoulder. Inhale, come to the top of your mat. Exhale, take a quarter turn toward your right. I'm going to pretend this is the top of my mat for this purpose. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, wide-legged forward fold. Breathe. Parallel your front and back foot with the front and back edges of your mat. You have some options here. You can find a big toe lock and flare your elbows to the side of the room. You could find a bind, as we did on the other side. Or if it is in your practice and you're in a safe place in your home, you could find an inversion and get upside down. So take a few moments to play here. If you are in a wide-legged forward fold, continue to engage through your thighs. Now shift the weight of your body from your heels to the balls of your feet to stack your hips over your heels. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands beneath your shoulders. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, pivot on your back, your back foot, and be turned around. Your back foot. Straighten through your right leg. Exhale, Trikonasana or triangle pose. Breathe. Stack your hips one on top of another. Your shoulders one on top of another. Press your arm into your leg and your leg into your arm to spiral your heart toward the sky. Option to gaze up or down. Now squeeze through your thighs. Inhale, send your bottom arm forward in space. Exhale. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, Trikonasana toward the back or front of your mat on your other side, left leg. Breathe. Stack your hips one on top of another. And tick-tock your hands at 6 and 12. You may find a slight micro bend in your front leg. Inhale, send your bottom arm forward. Exhale. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. Inhale, come to the top of your mat. Samasthiti. Prepare for pyramid pose. Bring your feet about 3 feet apart on 2 parallel lines. I like to start with my left foot forward and my right foot back. Inhale, find a bind behind your back. Look up. Exhale, bound pyramid pose. Breathe. Bend from your hips and send your heart down toward the earth. Bring your left hip back and your right hip forward in space. Continue to find a bind behind your back. Inhale. Exhale, one-legged swan. Breathe. Slowly and with control, transfer the weight of your body from both feet into your left standing foot. Dial your back toes down and bring your shoulders below your hips. Continue to flex through your back foot. The bind behind your back are your beautiful swan wings. Inhale. Exhale, standing splits. Breathe. Bring your arms down to the mat. Continue to lift your right leg high. Option 2, bring your left hand behind your calf if you'd like to put this into a balanced posture. Gaze at the back of your space. Inhale. Exhale, slowly lower your lifted leg back down to the earth. Inhale, gaze forward. If you have a block, bring it underneath your right shoulder. Exhale. Inhale, revolved triangle pose. Breathe. I like to do maybe 1 or 2 or 3 arm circles and then bend from and create the movement from my mid back and my upper back. I like to bring my left hand to the small of my back to make sure my hips are square. Inhale, reach just a little higher. Exhale, release. Bring your hands down toward the earth. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Samasthiti. Exhale, set up for pyramid pose on the other side. So bring your right leg forward, your left foot back this time. Inhale, find a bind behind your back. Look up. Exhale, forward fold with, not a forward fold, bound pyramid pose, rather. Breathe. Hinge from your hips. Send your right hip back and your left hip forward in space. Now, the Sanskrit for this posture is extreme side stretch. So, you want to be able to feel it in your side bodies. Imagine the bottom half and the top half of your body were to detach from each other. Send them away from one another. Inhale. Exhale, one-legged swan. Breathe. Slowly and with control, transfer the weight of your body from both standing legs to the right leg. Send your shoulders down below your hips. Stay engaged in your back leg. Your bind behind your back are your beautiful swan wings. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, standing splits. Breathe. Gaze in the back of your space. Dial your back toes down. And raise your hamstrings just a little higher. Option to find a bind behind your calf with your right arm if you'd like to put balance into the equation. Inhale. Exhale, slowly release your lifted leg back down to the earth. Inhale, bring a block underneath your left shoulder, spider tip your arms. Inhale, revolve triangle pose. Breathe, do a couple shoulder rolls before bending from your mid-back and upper back to create this movement. Bring your right hand to the small of your back to make sure your hips are square. Pull your right hip back in space and your left hip forward in space. Inhale, reach just a little higher. Exhale, release. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank or tabletop, your practice, your choice. This is just a transition to get us onto our bellies. Inhale to stay. Exhale, slowly lower down to your belly. Prepare for low cobra. Inhale, low cobra. Breathe. Press the shoelace sides of your feet so much so into the earth that your kneecaps rise. Track your elbows back toward your hips to send your chest forward in space. Inhale. Exhale, release. Look toward, move on to your left ear. Windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Inhale, come back to center. Prepare for half locust pose. Bring your hands to your sides, face down, palms face toward the back of your space. Begin to wiggle your pinkies in toward one another. underneath your thighs. Exhale, bring your chin to the earth. Inhale, half locust pose. Breathe. Keeping your chin on the earth, raise only your legs. Find length to the back of your space, and then lift up toward the ceiling. Inhale, lift your legs just a little higher. Exhale, release. Come onto your right ear, windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Inhale, come back to center. Prepare for floor bow. You can also find bound locust behind your back, but I will cue floor bow. Exhale. Inhale, reach your arms back to capture your ankles, your calves, your heels. Exhale. Inhale, floor bow. Breathe. Press your hands into your feet and your feet into your hands to raise your chest off of the floor. Create a long neutral spine, gaze down. Pinch your shoulder blades down your back. Inhale. Exhale. Release. Windshield wiper your legs back and forth. Inhale, come back to center. Press yourself up into hero's pose. Bring your knees together, your feet out wide. Press the fleshy part of your calves to the sides and sit back into that space. And this is hero's pose right here, sitting up nice and tall and breathing. You also have an option to sit up on a block right here. If you do have a block underneath your seat, but you'd like to recline, please remove the block first. Inhale. Exhale, slowly recline. You can come on back to your elbows or all the way back onto your shoulder blades. Remember to breathe. Exhale. Inhale, slowly rise up. Exhale, send your sits bones to sit back on your heels. Inhale, reach your hands up toward the sky. Find steeple mudra. Exhale, half tortoise pose. Breathe. Hinge forward in your hips. Bring your biceps by your ears as you slowly and with engagement bring your hands slowly down to the earth. If your hips rise off of your heels, stop right there. Keep your wrists off of the earth. Continue to reach forward. Exhale. Inhale, slowly rise up. Squeeze through your core as you slowly rise up to a seated position. Bring your shoulder blades down your back. Release your hands to the earth. Inhale, come to kneeling mountain. I like to bring a block beside each sides of my feet. Inhale, bring your hands to your low back. Exhale, camel pose. Breathe. Send your hips over your knees. So we don't want to be sitting back in space like this. Keep your hips forward over your knees and bend from your low back. This is supported camel right here. You can stay right here with your breath. Or on an exhale, you can come on down to your feet. Continue to press your hips forward in space. Squeeze through your core. Tuck your chin in. Exhale. Inhale, slowly rise up, one vertebrae at a time. I like to give myself a second to stabilize through my spine before sending my hips back onto my heels. Now the counter to camel pose is rabbit pose. So we will hinge from our hips, exhale, rabbit pose. Breathe. Bring the crown of your head down toward the mat. Bring your hands back to capture your heels, and then lift your hips off of the earth to round through your spine. Exhale. Inhale, slowly rise up. Exhale, come onto one side or the other and send your legs out long in front of you. Bring your left leg into your right thigh. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, seated head to knee pose. Breathe. Flex your right foot back toward your calf. Sit up tall through your spine, and then create the movement from your sacrum, your low back. Exhale. Inhale, slowly rise up. Exhale, bring your left leg to the outside of your right thigh. Bring your left arm behind you. Reach up tall through your spine and through your right arm. Inhale. Exhale, Marichyasana, seated twist. Breathe. Bring your right arm or bicep to your knee, or you have an option to hug your knee here. Sit up tall through your spine and gaze over your left shoulder. Continue to flex through your right foot. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Switch it out for your other leg. Send your left leg long. Bring your right knee in, the sole of your right foot in toward your left thigh. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, seated twist. Seated head to knee pose. Breathe. Capture what is accessible to you, whether it's your thigh, your calf, or your foot. Hinge from your sacrum. And bring your head down to your knee. Continue to flex through your left foot. Exhale. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring your right leg to the outside of your left thigh. Bring your right arm behind you. Inhale, reach high and tall through your spine. Exhale, Marichyasana on the other side. Breathe. Stack one vertebrae right on top of another. I can't find my words. Gaze over your right shoulder. Press your elbow into your thigh and your thigh into your elbow to twist deeper into this posture. Exhale. Inhale, come back to center. Send your legs out long and find yourself onto your back. You can take a second to get one last chance for ab workout today. Come down slowly and with control. Inhale. Exhale. Shavasana. Send your legs out long at your sides. Bring your hands to your sides. Or find what feels good. You could find Supta Baddha Konasana. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Close your eyes. Allow your eye sockets to grow heavy. Relax your jaw. And know that I will be here to bring you out in a couple of minutes. Begin to invite life back into your body. Swallow. Release your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Begin to find some small movement. Wiggle your fingers, or your toes. Rock your head from side to side. Allow that movement to ripple until you find yourself in a long body stretch. Inhale. Exhale, supported fetal position. Roll on to your right side. Tuck your knees in toward your chest. Use your right bicep as a pillow. I'd like to end with this quote from Morgan Freeman. Learning how to be still, to really be still and let life happen, that stillness becomes a radiance. When you're ready to move off of your mat and into the rest of your day or your evening, use your left hand to press yourself up into a seated position. Exhale, release all of your stale air. Inhale, reach your hands high up above and let them kiss palms. Exhale, bring them to heart center. The light, the love, the student, and the teacher in me is so honored and inspired by the light, the love, the student, and the teacher that lives inside of each and every one of you. We bow our heads in unison and say, Namaste. Thanks for sharing your time and your energy with me during this hot yoga. My name again is Molly, and I'm hoping to be giving and providing you with more practices just like these in the future. Thanks for watching, and please feel free to leave me any comments or feedback, questions that you might have. Until next time. Thanks.